Κυρίες και κύριοι, έχουμε σήμερα μαζί μας τον πρέσβη του Ισραήλ στην Κύπρο, τον κύριο Σάμι Ρεβέλ, ο οποίος σύντομα αποχωρεί από το νησί λόγω της λήξης της θητείας του. Mr. Ambassador, welcome to CNA. I believe this is your last interview.
Thank you. Thank you.
While
Maria.
in Cyprus. Thank you for coming here. And I will begin by asking you, how have you experienced the development of bilateral relations between Cyprus and Israel during your term of office as the ambassador of Israel in Nicosia? And how does the new Israeli government view these relations, and in which sectors could they further develop?
Well, the relations between Israel and Cyprus are at their highest level ever. There are very close relations between the heads of state, between Prime Minister Bennett and President Nikos Anastasiadis, and between the Ministers of Foreign Affairs, our Minister of Foreign Affairs Yair Lapid and the Cypriot Minister of Foreign Affairs Nikos Christodoulides, and also among many other ministers. There are also very important projects, very important cooperations in the field of security, response to emergencies, economic projects, and also cultural exchanges. We just saw lately, when the fire broke out in Cyprus, how quickly Israel came with emergency assistance for Cyprus, as Cyprus did in the past. Today, we work very closely together, and I can say that I'm very happy that I was an ambassador in Cyprus, Israeli ambassador to Cyprus, at a time when the relations were upgraded to their highest level.
Okay, and since we referred to the very close cooperation, how are the two countries cooperating as regards the COVID-19 pandemic?
Yes, well, you know, historically Israel and Cyprus have very close medical ties, dating tens of years back, and they really developed in recent years. When the COVID-19 pandemic broke out, immediately we established important cooperations between the countries. First and foremost, a hotline between doctors to exchange information, to learn about this new challenge. Also, to supply pharmaceuticals. We did very big operations to supply needed operations, and also to evacuate patients who need emergency evacuation by air ambulance. And I believe that this joint effort, especially today as we see that the pandemic is continuing, is extremely important, both for Israel and for Cyprus.
Okay, and how does Israel view the prospects of the trilateral schemes among Cyprus, Israel and Greece, and the support and endorsement of this partnership by the US?
Yes, we live in a region facing many very big challenges. We have regimes which are promoting extremism, terrorism. We see the Iranian regime today developing nuclear weapons, developing missiles, helping proxies in the region, exporting terrorism. These are huge challenges. Now, the partnership that we established in the trilateral is very important in facing regional challenges, because through the cooperation between Israel, Cyprus and Greece, we are providing a pillar of stability. This is not directed against anybody, but in order to provide another paradigm for our region, a paradigm of cooperation, a cooperation on emergency issues, a cooperation on energy issues, a cooperation also on innovation, on many other important topics. And this is very important for the stability, for the prosperity of this region. The American, the US support of this is extremely important. It reinforces our cooperation. And we also have today something which is very welcome, more and more cooperation with our peace partners in the Middle East, Arab countries which are our peace partners, which are joining us in some of the meetings, like for example, in Paphos now in April 2021 with the UAE. And this cooperation between the three countries, with the US and our peace partners, I believe will make a significant contribution to the future of this region.
And what do you believe are the prospects of further developing cooperation between Cyprus and Israel in the energy sector and among other countries of the region in general?
The natural gas resources that we have found in the exclusive economic zones of Israel, but also of Cyprus, are a very significant opportunity for our countries. An economic opportunity, but also an important economic opportunity for our cooperation. We have already launched several important projects, for example, the East Med pipeline to supply gas to Europe, also the electrical cable, the interconnector that will connect our electrical grids of Israel, Cyprus, and also Greece, and from there to Europe. These are things which are very important for our countries, and I believe looking to the future, we will develop more and more also cooperation on renewable energy. We see what is happening today with the environment, and renewable energy is our #1 priority today.
Which is Israel's stance vis-à-vis Turkish moves in Famagusta and the Turkish stance on the Cyprus problem in general? Do you think that Israel and the international community can do more in order to change the current situation? And also, in this respect, how do you comment the construction of a drone base in the Turkish occupied areas of Cyprus?
Yes, the Israeli government already issued a statement, a clear statement in July, making clear that we expressed deep concern regarding latest Turkish statements and also moves regarding the status of Varosha. Also expressing full support and solidarity with Cyprus. Actually, Minister of Foreign Affairs Yair Lapid expressed clearly this solidarity during his recent meeting with Foreign Minister Christodoulidis. Όπως το έκανα μερικές φορές κατά τη διάρκεια της θητείας μου στην Κύπρο.
Okay, and how would you assess the stance of Cyprus with regard to the Middle East problem? If you could elaborate on this.
Well, in the Middle East we have today both a challenge and an opportunity. We have a challenge because we still see, unfortunately, places of instability which are used by extreme regimes to develop extremism and terrorism. So I believe that our cooperation with Cyprus in this regard is very important. But also we concentrate more and more on the opportunity. Today in the Middle East we have the Abraham Accords, supported very much also by the United States. We have now new agreements with the United Arab Emirates, with Bahrain, with Morocco, and others as well. And of course we have our peace partners, Egypt and Jordan. And together with Cyprus, together with Greece, we are creating more and more forums where we can cooperate. I think a very important example is the EMGF, the Eastern Mediterranean Gas Forum in Egypt, which brings us together around this issue. And I'm confident that in the future we will have more and more forums for cooperation between us, which will change the paradigm of the Middle East.
Which would you say are the most vivid and strong moments you have experienced as the ambassador of Israel here?
Okay, there were so many, of course, high-level meetings, but I have to say also friendly moments. For example, I remember we had a very lively and friendly concert of Greek music with an Israeli singer, Shlomi Saranga, and Stella Ioriadou from Cyprus, with hundreds of people, 700 or 800 people in the crowd, several ministers from the government, other high-level people, and also ordinary people which came to enjoy this festival of music. We had last year the festivities for the 60 years of diplomatic relations between Israel and Cyprus. On a personal basis also, I enjoyed very much the visits of my family in Cyprus. Just recently, έχω η πρώτη έγγονη μου, and she visited me, my first granddaughter, and I'm happy to say that she even has now a doll that speaks Greek, that teaches her Greek, so I can see to the future. I can say that if I look to the most important thing that we did is to create a link between the future generation of Israel and the future generation of Cyprus, especially building a bridge on innovation and entrepreneurship. There was one moment which was extremely important when I met tens of Cypriots which were trained on innovation by Israeli experts. And this is for sure inspiring the future generation to solve to solve challenges on climate change, water issues, health issues, many other issues which are important for our future. Αυτή η γέφυρα καινοτομίας αποτελεί έμπνευση για τις μελλοντικές γενιές, σίγουρο.
Και αφού έχουμε δει ότι μιλάτε ελληνικά, να μας πείτε τι σας όθησε να μάθετε ελληνικά και να μας πείτε και για την θητεία σας εδώ, πώς την αξιολογείτε στα ελληνικά, αν μπορείτε να μας απαντήσετε.
Ναι. Είμαι πολύ περήφανος για τις εξαιρετικές σχέσεις μεταξύ Ισραήλ και Κύπρου. Το πιο σημαντικό από όλα είναι η φιλία ανάμεσα μας. Σε όλη τη διάρκεια της θητείας μου στην Κύπρο, επισκεπτόμαι χωριά, πόλεις, τα βουνά, απολαμβάνω την τοπική κουζίνα και ως πρέσβη συναντώ τον Πρόεδρο, υπουργούς, δήμαρχους, βουλευτές, επιχειρηματίες, αλλά και πολλούς απλούς πολίτες. Παντού συναντώ φίλους, όπου πάω, σε όλη την Κύπρο. Και ήθελα να μιλήσω με τους φίλους μας στα ελληνικά. Νομίζω είναι σημαντικό, παρόλο που είναι δύσκολη γλώσσα.
Θα λέγατε ότι η Κύπρος είναι ένας από τους πιο στενούς συμμάχους του Ισραήλ.
Ναι, ναι.
Γενικά.
Ναι.
Είναι. Λοιπόν, σας ευχαριστώ πολύ.
Ευχαριστώ. Ναι.